Well, my name is Harry Halverson. I was born in Scandia, Minnesota, Washington County, on January 25th, 1917. In spring of 1929, tornado hit our home and destroyed everything that we had in place. So we stayed in the town of Chisago City that summer, and in that fall we moved to Wadena, Iowa. And I finished my grade school and started the high school while we were there. And in 1933 we moved up by Decorah, and where we lived until I went to the service in April of 1941. We all registered for the draft. I had a very low number, and I knew a bunch of the fellas that had volunteered, and I kind of thought I'd like to be with that group, and so I volunteered, and there were 15 of us left from Decorah on April 25th of 41, and we headed to Des Moines. We were sworn in on April 26th, and 14 of the 15 of us passed our exams, and we loaded up that evening and went to Jefferson Barracks, Missouri, and we were there over the weekend. And then we got on the train and went from there to Camp Claiborne in Louisiana. And there we were assigned to A Battery of the 185th Field Artillery. There was a guard outfit unit from Clinton, Iowa. And I took all my basic training with the artillery, and was with them until right after Pearl Harbor, when the division was being restructured. And then I was transferred from the 185th Field Artillery to the 109th Engineer Battalion. And so that's how I became a member of the 109th before we ever left Camp Claiborne. We went from there to Fort Dix, and A Company, for some reason or other, was the first company to load board ship on January 15th of 1942, and we encountered a very rough voyage from there, and we pulled into Belfast, Ireland, the night of my birthday, January 25th. I'll never forget that, because it was my birthday. I hadn't eaten for several days, and the Navy was serving hot dogs and wieners and beans. And I went through the line once, and I was still hungry, so I managed to creep in the second time and made 2 runs for the supper. Then the next day, we were the first company to march down Main Street of Belfast, Ireland. From there on, we took our training. I don't remember. Well, I think we went to Coleraine. No, that was one of the camp, but I think there was another one just before that. And then we were at Coleraine, Ireland, for a while before we moved down by Enniskillen. And I think I've got these camps just about right here. And there the rest of the battalion caught up with us, and we trained there then till I think it was just about Thanksgiving time or somewhere in there. And we moved from there to Prescott, England, and well, I did anyway with a bunch of the guys. And we loaded on ship there, and on Christmas Eve we got onto we were on the Orontes, I think was the name of the ship, that sailed for North Africa. And I think it was Christmas morning we pulled out of Liverpool Harbor, and we ended up in Oran, Africa, and I believe the 2nd or 3rd day of January of 43. And there the company or the battalion assembled, And I was driving truck at the time, and we loaded everything up, and from there on we drove all the way across North Africa over to, I believe it was Algiers, somewhere over in there. You remember? Yeah, over in that area. And there we kind of got into formations, and the first thing...
We got clear to Tunisia, I think.
Tunisia, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it was. And then we got involved with the first battle with Rommel down in the Kasserine or Fayed Pass. And for some reason or other, A Company and a lot of us, we didn't know which way we were going, but we were going backward. And we had a bunch of our fellows get captured in that deal. And from then on it was fight until the thing ended in Bizerta in May with the capture of all those Rommel's extra fancy troops that he had down there. Then we took more basic training, and I ended up, I put on detached service for, I think, about 6 weeks, loading and hauling supplies for the invasion of Sicily, driving truck all the time. And in the meantime, I picked up yellow jaundice, and I got sent from that trucking company to the hospital in somewhere in Africa. I don't remember the town. And I stayed there for almost 6 weeks. And then got back to the company, and it wasn't long after that that we got ready to load on board ship for the invasion at Salerno. And on board ship, our platoon was assigned with the little 100th Battalion of Japanese Americans. They were on that ship. And the thing I remember most was we'd go down and visit with the guys, and all they could say was, "Man, we've got to prove we're Americans." And which they really did. They proved themselves to be 100% local or loyal American soldiers. And in fact, my squad that I was with at the time, we were walking up around a bend, and one of those little fellows got killed right as he was, a little sergeant was kind of leading a platoon. And those guys fanned out like a bunch of flies, and it wasn't long till that machine gun nest was taken care of. But from then on, why, it was just move all the way on up. Got into Naples, and I just don't remember really all that took place. Everything's moving pretty fast at that time.
Did you were up there towards Venafro and working its way towards Casino.
Oh, yeah.
But that was on after we crossed that river.
Yeah, the Volturno River.
Yeah.
We crossed that 2-3 times. I helped along putting in pontoon bridges, and in fact, we put one in, and then I think it got blowed up or destroyed somewhere, and we had to redo it. Or yeah,
flood took it out.
Yeah, flood took it out. That's what happened. Yeah, so.
There's a body in there. Do you remember when Sorensen and Koopman and Weiss got killed?
Oh yeah. Were
you with the company then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was that air raid, bad air raid, and I was driving armored half track at that time.
Oh, yeah?
With Stan Hansen was my sergeant. Yeah, and I was driving the half track at that time. Yeah, it was Stan Hansen and. Let's see, who else was it that was with me? And I was driving that too when we were in Venafro there, when Lieutenant Belinsky got killed, and those guys. And we really hit it kind of rough right in that area. Yeah. Bad weather along with everything else. Yeah.